Thank you very much, Matty. Episode 486 we're on now for Bellew of the Week. Matty's here. He's the host with the most. I'm here as well, so is Andy and rapping Rob Kelly. What shall we play this weekend then? What about a bit of classic Bellew? He was on DAZN last night, I believe. I didn't get to hear him, unfortunately, but let's hear him right now.
Let's be totally and brutally honest here. Sean Corbin makes Valerie Brudov look like Ivan Drago. It's as simple as that. He's beat what's in front of him tonight. He faces me. He's going to visit mental demons again. And let's get something straight. Come to me, mate. You come to me. Next time, ain't no judges going to be needed. I'm going to do worse than Kovalev. I am going to do worse than Kovalev.
On Saturday night, mate, you better hold it together. I'm going to smash it near you to pieces, mate. I'm going to hit him. When he gets in the ring and we get 10-ounce gloves on, I'm going to smash his head to bits. I'm going to do it November the 30th against all odds. No matter what people say, the journalists write what you want. All as I'll say is tune back in and then look at me on December the 1st when I am world champion. It's as simple as that.
I'm willing to die in that ring. It's as simple as that. I am willing to die. I'm willing to die, Saturday. Is he? You fucking rat!
It's as simple as that.
That, mates.
I'm just happy that he's finally lived up to his prophecy and disappeared. That's fucking dead zone, baby.
I tell you what, he was looking but chic in that suit he was wearing there last night. I must admit, looking quite
Was
flashy.
he? Yeah.
Aye.
Oh.
What was
Showing
the
cash,
DAZN card
the
fight?
Rolex as well.
Who was fighting on DAZN last night?
Dalton Smith.
Oh, right, okay.
Against Samo Mason. You would have liked him, Rob. You remember the guy Josh Kelly landed about 5 left hooks on? Poor old Mason could not get out of the right hand last night. No matter how many times it came his way, he could not get out of the way, poor fella.
Brilliant. Standard DAZN opponent.
Dead zone, baby.
Dead Zone on an app that nobody watches. As Leonard Ellerby once said, I haven't gone through too many of these, so I'll be finding them out as well as you lot do. ID Boxing, Johnny Fisher's opponent, Michelle Reisinger, had some unusual training techniques. Getting punched in the face, Andy, I've never understood these kind of techniques in training. He was letting his coach leather him repeatedly in the chin, which actually got him well prepared for the fight because Johnny Fisher soon leathered him in the chin as well.
Aye, that big massive right hand he took just literally turned him to like water, isn't it? He fell over. I know the stoppage was a bit kind of like meh. Could have maybe took a wee bit more punishment, maybe earned his coin. But I've seen these things before, especially in Thailand. This is like chin checkers, but they're not even throwing like proper like punches. They're just obviously like they're pulling it a wee bit. Fucking properly hit them, because once I see they fucking pull this shit, generally get knocked out. So I think it's just a bit of a gimmick at the end of the day.
Oh, there was an infamous video going back years ago. Do you remember? There was all guys stood up in a line in a gym and the coach was going around hitting them one by one. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that one. It was like 7 or 8 in a line.
Yeah.
It's the stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Exactly, mate.
You're
What's the point
supposed
of
to
just taking slap those punches?
You're supposed to train the fella to fucking to not get hit. Like somebody missed that fucking kind of key memo of the sport. But fucking boxing coaches, any of us off the panel, if we had enough patter and you're in the right place at the right time, you could end up as a pro trainer these days. Like absolutely.
It's not so much the pattern, mate. It's if you've got the you've actually got the nerve to actually go and like front yourself up like that and just like be an absolute prick about it. Like, you know nothing. I mean, I'm not saying that I know.
You're gonna go far.
Much. And exactly, I like Ben Davison, Burpee Ben, or Ben Guardiola, as I like to call him. But I think we all could we could all teach someone how to throw a fucking proper punch and maybe slip a shot. That's just bollocks, that.
It's like that, what was it, a Kit Kat ad years ago, Steve? You know the one. You can't dress that, you're going to go far.
Which one was that, Kit Kat?
I'm aging myself here. Yeah, no, I think it was a kick. It was a band auditioning or something, and the man goes to him, well, you can't dress, you can't sing, and you can't act. You're going to go fire. Like it's like most boxing coaches.
Oh yeah, was that Twix or something? Was it?
Could have been Twix now, Steve. We're mixing up with chocolate bars. I'm old now.
Top 10 chocolate bars coming next week. Exactly, absolutely. Charlie Taylor. Bob Smith has nominated. What was this one now? Oh yeah, it was a rack at Box Story. I think he was talking about Ebony Bridges, was he? I'm not sure about that one. I think we'll just move on. Dominic Henry nominated the gaffer. The gaffer with a call out, Matty. This isn't to you because you're contributing. We're not. The gaffer says only one thing failing DAZN is the public. If we bought into it, he would be able to do so much more. We're holding him back, Matty.
You're holding him back. I'm contributing. I like my
I didn't know
DAZN
Eddie Hearn's
subscription.
name was the
Wait a fucking minute here. What the fuck has DAZN been putting on these last few months?
I didn't even know they had an afternoon card. I was surprised
That card
with
they
an
put on there
extra
last
card
night
of
is-
boxing.
That card they put on there last night was your bog standard Sky Sports show every Friday or Saturday night, right?
Yeah.
Do it on a subscription channel.
Yeah.
What the fuck? It's just bollocks, man. Look, end of the day, we said it last week. That card was deplorable. At the end of the day, come on, it was shocking. It was.
I enjoyed myself.
The Sheffield one, you mean, Andy?
The DAZN one, mate.
Aye.
The one that Dalton Smith was on.
Aye. Well, those two, yeah, because I suppose Ortiz McKinson was the zone as well, wasn't it?
Oh, sorry, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Aye.
No. Just clarifying there for Matty. Anyway, Eduardo, Cameron B. No, RIP Matchroom. I've cut the video. I don't know if we'll get done for this, but it's well worth it. Eddie, who is promoting, what is it in September? Canelo versus Triple G. Well, apparently the haters, they're everywhere, aren't they?
He was talking about it for some reason. That he's like, I think he must have asked. The way I took it was that he wasn't like thinking about making it. I don't know if at this time like Canelo was even signed by Eddie at this point. Actually, but
no, he wasn't. This was way back in the HBO Oscar days. He's talking about the Box Night when it was on Box Nation, the first one.
Right. This would be back in the day when Eddie was saying he's a cheater, mate. He's a fucking cheater.
This was around the cheater time. Canelo versus Triple G 2018, I think it was. Box Nation. We're going to show it. There was talk about pay-per-view at the time, but Eddie wasn't happy. Now this was 4 years ago when they were both very much in and around their prime, but Eddie wasn't convinced about the merits of Canelo versus Triple G1.
I'll follow my glass for this one.
As you'll find out now. Here we are.
Golovkin against Canelo doesn't do as many buys as people think it does as a standalone at 4 in the morning. If that was on a subscription channel, i.e. boxing subscription channel, if that was on a subscription channel, i.e. boxing subscription channel, fucking hell. I mean, fucking hell. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. So how many buys does Canelo against Golovkin do? My opinion, between 100 and 150,000 buys at 4:30 in the morning.
Surely more than that.
No.
Surely.
At 4:30 in the morning. You've got to get someone up to pay £16.95 to watch that fight between a guy, Canelo, who, and again, I'm going to get stick for this, but if you want the truth, you can handle the truth. Canelo is not a big name in the UK. Trust me. Canelo is not a big name in the UK. Trust me. Canelo is not a big name in the UK. Trust me. You didn't ask the question yesterday, did you?
About what?
If it was Box Nation pay-per-view, if you're a Box Nation subscriber, do you have to pay-per-view it?
No.
Well, the answer is yes.
All that was said was that details will be. They didn't have the details.
No, but I'm presuming, again, maybe wrong, that it doesn't matter whether you're a subscriber or not. You have to pay a pay-per-view on this.
I would assume so.
Yeah. Which is going to go down like a sack of spuds. Which is going to go down like a sack of spuds. Which is going to go down like a sack of spuds. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. Fucking hell.
Woo! Even it.
I didn't even write that. Credit.
Get a life, whoever made that up.
It's quality. Was it that RP? Is that a Matchroom account? Is it not? I'm sure him. Someone sent him the actual video, and then he's actually there when created the wee kind of fire
someone
effects.
sent it to that Sir Ruza Fitzgerald or whatever you call him. He makes some good wee videos. He does.
But it's went for like 16 quid to like what £30 in the last like 18 months.
Yeah, this is him talking about them 4 years ago. He's
slagging off the American market, like making like $86, and he's fucking made it the same price.
Hold your horses, because get a life, you dragging up these clips from years ago, because he addressed this week and he said, yeah, I might have said something. I never said pay-per-view was dead, but even if I did say pay-per-view was dead, shit changes. He said, what happens, what was true yesterday might not be true today. I might grow as a person. I might feel different. But what I told you on that day was the truth and the day. So, take a day.
That's Bob Arum country he's boxed in there,
isn't it?
That's that Bob Arum Country Road. He just walked in there. I'll just do a Bob. Yesterday I
I
was
think he
lagging there,
wishes he
telling the
was.
truth.
He wishes. He wishes he was in Bob Arum territory because he might be making a fucking play for it in the States if he was. Even in Ed, get a life, these fellas bringing up old clips. Eddie Hearn was completely contradicting himself. He doesn't. Shit changes. Get on with it.
Shit changes, Rob. Pay-per-view, 4 in the morning, Canelo,
Yeah.
Triple G, subscription channel. Shit changes all the time.
Box of subscription channel, mate. A box of subscription channel. You know.
Yeah.
It's,
Josh
it's
Ford here says, I actually thought he was fairly right in what he was saying. Did Canelo do more than 150? Yeah, that's right, but that's not the point.
The zone boxing your way game changed. Woo! But he's right. Was it 150? What was the first fight? What channel was that on over here?
Get a life, anyone taking him in context.
Box Nation, because I remember Michael Buffer reading out the 118, 110, and Alex Steedman goes, whoa.
Was it pay-per-view? Because I didn't pay for it.
Wasn't for me.
Exactly. And I stayed up to watch it, so what the fuck?
Sick
Can't remember.
bastards.
Don't think so.
But think it, Matt, you see what I'm saying, right? Look, the zone sounds good in principle, right? But look at the shite they serve up. If you're going to give me events for Japan, all the fucking club shows, something I can like tune out to, like
No, I thought I'm a little disappointed in that realm too. I thought it was going to be closer to how Box Nation was.
It is,
Box
but
Nation
now
was
Box
far
Nation.
superior.
It's like Box Nation now, Matty.
Yeah, Box Nation was far superior in its early years compared to
Oh,
the
yeah.
zone, mate.
In its
Fucking
prime,
miles.
Yeah, they've done the
And it
deal with
was-
Oscar and all, didn't they? Mhm.
Yeah,
It
half
was
of what
not
I
as
streamed on Saturdays was from Box Nation.
It was incredible. You even got the amateurs, the World Championships. You even got the inter-services fucking fights and that as well. Proper fucking boxing, man. As I say, you even got it led in like the UK leg into like a big American fight. Staying up to like hours on end watching fucking fights, man.
Ah, that's right.
That was the good old
Peak
days,
Box
man. I
Nation was
remember.
class.
I just had to stop streaming shit because I kept getting fucking viruses from streaming boxing matches. Like most people get stuff from downloading pornography. I got it from like trying to like go to some fucking stream site so I could watch a fight from Czechoslovakia on a Saturday afternoon.
There you go.
There's some good stuff on DAZN. Some of the Oscar undercards and all that, and even some of the stuff Eddie puts on. Like, the boys are saying here, if DAZN put on a good subscription channel, then that's if they put on a good fight, then that's fair enough. It's just Eddie shitting on the stuff, and then a few years later he's doing exactly the same stuff. He's lying yesterday, he's lying today, he's lying tomorrow, isn't he?
Well, there's more than boxing on there. I mean, they got the live golf, which I think is stupid. They got some soccer on there. I know you guys like watching fucking darts and shit like that, and I think they have darts and snooker on there and stuff. Like, I'm not going to sit around and watch people play darts.
Not for us, though. Matty, not for us. We the darts and the snooker on Sky over here, and the football. It's only the women's football that's on DAZN over here.
Yeah, and they look better.
Who wants to pay for that? Fuck's sake, you want to be paying me to watch that? For fuck's sake.
Exactly, mate. On a Saturday night.
The
might.
What you talking to me? I don't even watch the
women
fights on a Saturday night anymore. I was watching the Elvis movie last night.
Yeah, I'll tell you what was helpful was like as the world was getting out of COVID and you're just like randomly trying to find stuff to watch. And there'd just be some countries where they had sports going and like they'd have like, I don't know, some fucking soccer match from Japan or something. I'm like, well, it's better than watching infomercials or the same movie I've watched 10,000 times.
There's Des, the Mayweather. Sorry, go on, Rob.
No, I was just going to say what you were going to say. Great shout by Des there. Absolutely brilliant shout because Floyd came to the UK mainstream with the Ricky Hatton fight, but Box Nation picked up the mantle and made sure that the UK public could still see Floyd because there was massive interest in him. I think maybe the De La Hoya fight preceded that, but he continued his run on Box Nation, all his Showtime fights, all his big, the big Mosley HBO nights, and all. They were all on, Box Nation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Good shout. Yeah, for the audio listeners amongst you, Des says the Mayweather era would have been like the Roy Jones era if it wasn't
domestic scene, though, mate. The domestic fights were amazing. I remember
Box Nation was better than DAZN, by the way. I'm just putting it out there. Even get a life for me for
Appleby and something, wasn't it?
They kicked it off Paul Appleby and Liam Walsh. What a fight that was, by the way. Like York Hall, I think it was like mid-July. It was absolutely sweltering hot down there. 2,000 in there, just absolutely baying for blood. What a fucking fight that was.
Frampton fights and all on, weren't they? And No,
Yep.
I love
That
boxing,
was when
actually.
you guys
I tell
had
you
that
what was
really
also-
great scene around 135 pounds, like
Also, mate,
Anthony
the Russian,
Crawlad, Derry Matthews, shit like that. There was some great
Yeah.
fights in that.
the
era.
Russian cards as well at the time that's when the Russian scene was practically fucking like one of the like, bitch.
Kudryashov and all them. Yeah.
Kudryashov.
Their cruiserweight
got-
scene, yeah. That
Yeah,
was
we got
multi-
Lebedev against Jones, for example. That that brutality fucking first fight. I'm screaming at the telly, stop the fight, man! Fuck it, what's going on here? Man's
Yep.
like the Michelin man here.
Good times, long live the zone, we say. Bellew of the week from 3K Battery for Caleb Plant, dressed as a WWE referee. There he is, Matty. He's enjoying himself.
He's got a bun in the oven
knock
there.
her
Anyway.
up. Right
He's
on.
got a bun in the oven. He's also Doug's showing his bollocks there as well. Look at the size of his bollocks.
The dog's bollocks.
He's a dangling, eh?
I'd love someone to Photoshop the dog's head and bollocks on the Caleb Plant, actually.
I just like to congratulate them on the upcoming birth of twins, because it looks like she's got one in her stomach and one in her ass.
That's what it's come to, is it? That's what it's come to on a Sunday night. Fucking pregnant women. For fuck's sake.
Anyone can get it
The
wrong.
can man. The can man there.
Fucking can man. Winning on pregnant women.
Oh my fucking!
You were all thinking it. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. 3K Battery nominated Isaac Dogbo as well. He's back in Ghana. He won his fight, no metaskeletons, but he's advertising something else at the airport. Good luck to him, I say. Good luck to Daniel Dubois trying to find his money, get his money as well.
Poor
Don
Frank
King
getting dragged into this shit now, eh?
still going strong. Evil never dies, as you say, Andy.
Oh mate, I mean, poor Frank's had to come out and even try and remove himself from this situation. It's like you got previous, if allegedly, but yeah, poor Frank's been called in. So apparently Daniel Dubois is like 900 grand. Apparently he's still waiting. As I understand it, his dad's quite wealthy, so fucking sue the cunt and get the fucking money ASAP before the old cunt fucking pops his clogs.
What the fuck has happened in the world of boxing where Frank Warren is now the good guy promoter?
It's funny. It's funny you should mention that.
Only in
Absolutely
America.
right. That old bastard Don King. We got one of our videos took down last week.
Yeah, but the old bastards even say like fucking. He's been waiting. Frank's due money for like 22 years ago, so he's waited all this time to fuck Frank over. 22 years. That is proper fucking OG material, by the way. But
Don King
Frank
took on the IRS and won. There's no
I
fucking
know.
way Dubois getting
He
that
took on
money.
the
I don't give a
federal
fuck who he
government
has
on.
with him.
yeah,
Ali
he even took on the
McBeal or who the
FBI.
fuck is going to be his lawyer, or fucking what you call it, home fucking OJ's lawyer. He can get, and he won't get that money off Don King. Fucking no chance.
Johnny.
The IRS.
Steve,
And
did
they
we get,
get-
did we get pulled down because for playing the promo video
Yeah.
for those fights that look like an 80s video game?
Yeah, 476, I think was the Bellew of the Week episode. It got took down because we played a promo video,
They got-
promotional video.
They got free commercial airtime and
Yeah.
they fucked us on it?
Yeah, fucking
What
old
an
wanker.
a-hole. What
We'll
what a
outlast
fucking
him anyway.
a-hole.
You know what? When he dies, I'm going to put that video back up again.
He's like Debo. He's like
Yeah.
Debo, Don King.
I'm going to celebrate it. I'm going to celebrate the wake by re-uploading Dom. So there you,
know,
are.
what we ought to do is when he dies, we ought to start a GoFundMe for all the boxers who are now impoverished that got fucked over by Don King to go and piss on his grave.
We'll need Kieran McConnell with his 20 quid.
Christopher Lovejoy be up there. Breakdancing.
You'd say, instead of buying me a bus ticket, can you just buy me some food?
Yeah. Michael Thompson in the chat. Tell you what, Don King is a multi-millionaire, man. He knows what he's doing. He's got the money to pay. All right. Anyway, we'll move on from
Getting
him.
sued again, buddy. We're getting sued again.
Exactly, we're getting sued again. Joe Markowski, Fred Garvin, formerly of the Sunday Puncher podcast. Now, I don't know where he is these days. I don't know why people try to complain about Chris Williamson making fun of DAZN when they have things like this floating about. Well, I've cut the clip, so let's hear what Joe Markowski had to say.
Am I presuming that in the UK the Gennady Golovkin fight is not pay-per-view either? The Canelo Triple G fight, if it happens, it won't be a pay-per-view in the UK.
There you go.
Okay.
A man as good as his word there, boys.
Well, things change. Get a life.
Someone's been to the hair clinic.
Oh, he has, all right. Yeah, you got a right mop.
I thought that was the Davy Crockett hat. I didn't think that was the haircut at all.
But he chases the dragon, by the way.
I don't know.
Well,
Chasing
like
a
Cali
payday.
Serling, you know.
Good old Joe. Not pay-per-view though, everybody. That's good to know. Michael Benson. Oh no, I don't want to promote him. David Allman nominated this. Joe Joyce mocks Joseph Parker for saying he'll hurt him on September the 24th. Oh my God. I don't know why they're trying to let Joe Joyce out off his leash here, trying to do a bit of banter at the press conference, Andy. I didn't even cut it, man. It was proper cringe.
I didn't watch it, mate. That's the reason why I know shit all about it. I'm surprised this fight's actually just all of a sudden materialised, but good to see it happening eventually.
I didn't watch it either. Right? But the clip title was Intense Heat between Joe Joyce and Joe Parker. I said, I bet thrilling edge of the seat stuff there between the two boys, banter flying.
And by the way, remember, Rob, we've got a new podcast coming from Cougs called Raw.
Really?
Raw is War.
It's called War, the Fight Inside. And I was wondering, is he talking about his conscience?
But at the same time, Rob,
he's talking about the way he feels after eating a really stiff curry.
At the same time, is he going to be taking those super chats to pay that water bill? I mean, need to know these questions.
He's conscious. Oh dear, good stuff, boys. Good stuff.
Joyce is going to fuck him up, by the way.
Yeah, oh yeah, Joyce is winning that all day. David Allman has nominated this as well. Clarissa Shields on Savannah Marshall. Marshall's a bitch, that's it. She's a bitch. She's a hater. She wishes she was me. She wishes she had the belts, the gold medals, and she don't. Marshall just want to be me. She wishes she was black and everything. It's just sad. You gotta love the quote.
You're thinking racism into it now. See, can you imagine if Marshall was saying shit like that? She wishes she was white. Can you imagine the shit that would cause, man? And then he's back in Ireland because she's black.
Start calling her Savannah Plant. What's
she getting from Savannah Marshall that are these tells that she wants to be black? I don't even the dog is getting upset about that one. That's what way does Savannah like? She talks like a Geordie, don't she? Like a Geordie doorman. Why? I don't know.
The quote.
And Rob qualifies as one of the 10 blackest people in Ireland. So take that to the bank.
Oh dear. What's the next one here? Graham Taylor nominating Jake Paul. I still think Canelo and I is one of the biggest fights to be made in boxing, and I know I could beat him. People laugh at that, but Dimitri Bivol showed he is very beatable, and I have a style, range, speed, and power similar to Bivol. Says Jake Paul. He was supposed to be fighting this weekend.
That Hassan Rahman even went ahead with the weigh-in, unofficial weigh-ins at 206 he came in. So basically, still missed weight, but he was just trying to prove that he could maybe make 205. But fuck, I thought it was kind of pathetic at the end of the day. You know, he was gagging for that payday.
This promoter said he was like getting woozy and shit when he got around like 212.
That's his sparring partner as well, by the way. Rahman is his sparring partner. Like he was fighting his sparring partner, so for a sanctioning ranking position. So I wonder what the result of that fight would have been if it had gone ahead.
Exactly. James Becker has nominated this. Back in action, Campbell Hutton will be looking to move 8-0s on Saturday as he fights in Sheffield. Campbell Hutton Fight Week was announced on Monday. We're all looking forward to that. Looking forward to this more than ever. We love a good tattoo on this show. We've seen quite a few in the past. Tundi's been tattooed on the arm. We've seen Carl Froch, or a resemblance of him. We've seen Tyson Fury. We've seen something looking like Billy Joe Saunders ripping off Canelo's head. But they come thick and fast here. Better get the cheese grater out fast and get rid of it. Fresh ink. Someone's got the blonde bomber tattooed on there.
I mean, has he actually got her to like sign his leg, or has he got that on tracing paper, for example? What the fuck?
Why would you do this? Why?
I mean, yeah, exactly. Why? And then you go on Instagram as well, with your profile picture on it to show who you look like some desperado, like maybe a Danny Flexion type character, the Flex Pest. You know, why? What the fuck?
Wonder
there's
if
poverty as well, man. It's cheap looking state of that fucking. There's no imagination with that.
No imagination. Dad's gonna ask him what tattoos he's got on him. He's like, oh yeah, check this one out.
Tell us about the tattoo.
Look at he's even got varicose veins in that as well, man.
That probably is God, isn't it?
Maybe it is.
I don't want to say too much about this man. Like I like who's doing that? Like. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I get you.
You know what I mean?
It's not your man again, is he? Maybe we should move on.
Well, somebody in the comments said whoever is the recipient of that tattoo has a wife, so I bet she's delighted with that one.
I don't know. I don't know.
Had a wife.
Had a wife. Maybe she doesn't know about it. Anyway, let's move on swiftly. The
I think
Ebony
they're
Bridges.
getting a Clarissa Shields one, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah,
I'm thinking about it now.
you should do. The quote.
What are
Few
you gonna do?
nominations.
Get a black chick tattooed on you or something?
Will you stop explaining the jokes? Because you've got the joke, man. He laughed. He moved on. You fucking.
Oh dear me. Right. Anyway, Ebony Bridges got a nomination there. We'll just move on from that one. Ryan Deal's been busy again this week on the photoshops.
Fucking
In light of Gad's motorbike exploits.
Harry
brutal,
Bikers.
isn't he?
This motherfucker's dangerous. We need to watch him. We need to get him on a short leash because he's even including us in these pictures these days. Fucking hell.
So Gad wears 2 types of leathers.
It's amazing. That is brilliant.
It's a good one, isn't it? Also, we had Eddie in GQ being nominated. There he
Oh
is.
my god.
With his
Apparently-
fishnets on.
Apparently, they were asked. I don't know if it's Eddie who maybe put it to them, or maybe GQ, or maybe getting it for like asking the question. But has Eddie Hearn outgrown the sport that he promotes?
He looks like the
fucking word.
He looks like a bad guy from High School Musical.
Look at the intruders, man. He looks like a fucking chessboard.
I was gonna say, looks like an American high school athlete circa 1997.
The boy Fisher would fucking love to have a game on that. What's his name? American chess player. No,
Bobby
Looks like
Bobby
one of them
Fischer.
fellas that's fucking going out with
Bobby
the
Fischer,
fucking...
that's it.
Yeah, looks like one of them fellas that's going out with like the fucking teen prom queen, like, and everything's going well for him until like the fucking nerd catches him cheating with the one behind the corner and all fucks
And
up on him. Like
in his NFL style jacket, that type of shit, you know.
waiting for fucking Ralph Malph and Patsy there in his jacket.
I thought he was wearing Oscar's fishnets at first. I honestly did when I first saw that photo.
Make sure his plugs were in the right place, you know. His Botox was actually looking quite
Well,
fine, you know.
Is he wearing a dress with that as well? What's the bottom attire? Is that a...
That's what I mean. I don't know.
You look at that. You look at that. All you can think is, yeah, that guy got molested by the shop teacher.
For fuck's sake. That's not. Listen, that's
Strictly not what I was thinking about.
that's not the worst part about the GQ interview. Andy has alluded to it. Let's have a little excerpt. I shall read it out for you now. So this was what was written. In recent years, 43-year-old Hearn has reshaped the sport in his own image in Britain, injecting it with a sense of fun, mischief and glamour. The music between rounds was a Hearn innovation. So was the ringside VIP box. He's masterminded some of the biggest fights in the world, from heavyweight bouts to YouTube novelties. He conquered America with a $1 billion broadcast deal with his own in 2018 and has driven his family business to an estimated valuation of $700 million with a roster of the world's best-known fighters.
Well, I'll tell you what, if that 700 million figure is true, the joke is on us.
By the way, Eddie Hearn
Nice bit of change there, Eddie.
He innovated music between rounds in the ringside VIP box. My fucking god.
Sweet
You would think he actually created like penicillin or created the fucking telephone like or something along those fucking lines, you know.
Penicillin couldn't cure some of them fucking cards, I tell you that much.
Eddie looking like Tim Westwood says.
Fucking Jesus, man.
I met Westwood before, actually. I thought he was sound. It's disappointing.
Yeah.
He's not like Eddie then,
That
basically.
didn't age well.
Yeah. Disappointing there how that one turned out.
Oh dear.
Fucking hell. It's a midlife crisis moment though, eh? 43-year-old, I've still got it. I've still got my sex appeal. I can remember
looking at it going, I'd probably wear that jacket, like, you know what I mean?
I can remember being at the Frampton Quigway and right. See that what's that lassie, that guy Hannah that's on Twitter. She's what's the name, Hannah or something. Anyways, I got chatting to her. She mentioned Eddie Hearn and she says, I says, what do you think of him? She says, oh, he's fit. I said, fit? I mean, oh, he's good looking. I'm like, all right, okay. So here we are, 10 years later, by the way, Eddie's fucking dressing up like some fucking novelty act, fucking chessboard trousers, NFL jacket, Botox, hair plugs. He calls us fucking unnatural. Holy fuck.
I'm a model, you know what I mean, and I do my little thing.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Matty, you've nominated one here. What on earth is going on with this box rec entry for Jessica Kamara?
Yeah, if you look there, Steve, on the bottom left, do you notice something about those 2 bottom dates?
Ooh.
Same day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know who to give the Bellew to, the people at Box Rec or management, or otherwise, because someone's fucked up or she's having to take a quick flight in order to fight twice in the same day.
Maybe she is.
My
Maybe
question
she
is this: so is how the fuck did you come across that one? What you been doing, Gary
So,
Gad?
so I was scrolling through everything looking for cards to talk about this week, and I swore I saw the same name twice on the same day. And golly gee willikers, Andy, I was correct.
Oh, well
Jolly
done.
gee
Well,
whiz.
as regular listeners will know, I was at a show once where Mike Perez fought twice in the same night in Limerick. He beat a heavyweight, then he came
Prize
back out
fighter.
a couple of fights later and beat another one. And the prize fighter was also on the same night.
Yeah.
So, there you go. Congratulations, Mr. Kamara. Miss Kamara. I'm gonna find it. Mrs. Kamara, sorry. no accusations intended there. That's all the ones I've got. Matty, you've thrown that in. Anything else to add to that, Cracker?
Just you misgendering people, Steve.
Misgendering people. It's a cry. We're might get shut down next week. This could be the last podcast. Andy, any nominations from you, please?
I'm trying to think now. Actually, there was a couple, but it's just I didn't take notes, so it's kind of slipped my mind. The Eddie one obviously is a funny one. Trying to think. Go to Rob. Let me think about it.
Have a good think, Rob. Any from you, please?
Yeah, I was doing a bit of digging on my man Father Dave this week, and I came up with his book title. Hold on, I'll get it for you there now. I think it's so. Anyway, Father Dave has a book out that I didn't know about. Maybe Ozzy covered it before, but he's a published author, and in 2020 he published Christians and Muslims Can Be Friends. So I think we've already proved that with us and Ben. So we don't need that book. But previously he wrote the book, which we might need: Sex, the Ring, and the Eucharist. The book is a series of snapshots from Smith's life and is known for its straight talking and honesty, and Smith being critical of the established church and legal system. Even with the criticism, it is said there is a pervading sense of faith and hope running through the book. So I'm going to give you one of the reviews now, right? This is a review from a fella who's called Paul the Pitbull Grimme, former Australian welterweight kickboxing champion. And this is the direct quote that's printed on the back cover of the book, right? It says, "I managed to read your book, mate, and to be quite frank, I like it. Not a bad read at all. I think you might be onto something, mate." That's the review. So, Father Dave rising like a phoenix there.
He's no John Exshaw, anyway.
John Exshaw, as I call him by with book reviews.
That's the best book endorsement in the history of book endorsement.
Sex, the Ring, and the Eucharist is a series of snapshots from Father Dave's life. The book, like its author, is a hard-hitting and straight-talking. It's hard-hitting and straight-talking. This is no-nonsense Christianity, a spirituality of the street. So, super chats in Australian dollars into us tonight, and we're reading excerpts off that for the rest of the fucking year.
Oh, definitely. I'm going to have to buy
especially
that.
on slow weeks.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if you want to hear
Rob,
Sex and the Eucharist,
a book review on that one, like
if there's an ebook, I'll buy it and I'll start reading excerpts next week. That should bring the listeners in.
I'll even do it in Father Dave's the commentator from the Father Dave clip. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, Tony O'Loughlin, I've known him years.
That was the third time that I got the crabs, and that's when I decided into the priesthood.
He's an Anglican priest as well as Father Dave, so he could marry.
Priest, you know.
And he's a priest, you know, and he's divorced as well, mate. He's divorced. The wife left him at so I can't imagine why, but they had irreconcilable differences. So read all about it.
Yeah.
I found
you were going to say erectile differences.
So I found my ones, mate. So I think Ozzy put one up for Johnny Fisher for having his opponent in the dressing room after the fight, having some kung pao prawns. Came across quite awkward. I think it was Scam Jones put that one up. Yeah. Did anybody catch Nigel Travis's tweet last night?
Oh, were they pulling down the trousers again or something?
It was Cougs. Poor Cougs got scanted in the hotel. Fucking, he dropped his phone. His fucking bollocks is hanging out. Poor fucking Cougs, man. Just leave him alone. Let him pay his water bill in peace.
It is funny that pulling down the trousers thing, though, isn't it? It never gets old, I don't think.
It doesn't get old. I know it's childish, right? But at the same time, the reaction's always the same. Cover your cock, because you don't know who's bigger than you, you know. Fair cooks. Also one for Eddie, actually. Again, I think it was it Jeff Bay? I think it was on Twitter. Got up the old video talking about $84.99 dollars is a lot for a pay-per-view. And what happens when he renounces the Canelo Triple G third fight being on pay-per-view in America? How much is it in America, Matty? $84.99.
That was Javon Bay. Yeah, that was a good one.
Oh,
is it
and
really?
It's $84.99. It's $89.98 in Canada, £17.98 in Britain, €17.98 in Ireland, $58 in Australia, and $39 in New Zealand. So we need to move to New Zealand, boys.
Definitely.
No, we need to move to Ireland or the UK.
Ireland, Ireland's the best value because it's €17.99 and it's also £17.99.
I think this is going to be one of the first times ever I'll ask you to send me a fucking link, Andy. Jesus Christ!
I'm gonna FaceTime the recording to you, Matthew. I feel sorry for you.
Thank you.
Listen, I would highly recommend to anybody listening to us is to get on the Patreon.
yeah, absolutely.
Steve knows.
If you're American, it will bring you $84.99 worth of value.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Without doubt, mate. In HD as well.
Yeah, exactly. Good additions there, Andrew. Anything else from you?
That's me, mate. On you go.
Lovely stuff. Rob, did you have anything to add before I go over them quickly?
No.
Good stuff. Right, let's have a quick rundown. For 486, we had Johnny Fisher's opponent getting punched in the face. We had Rack Noble getting nominated there. We had the Gaffer saying to support the zone. We had Eddie himself doing his best sales job for pay-per-view. We had Caleb Plant and his lovely wife. We had Isaac Dogbo promoting things. We had Daniel Dubois promoting Don King's ability to pay. We had Joga Markowski saying that Canelo against Golovkin will not be a pay-per-view in the UK. We know otherwise. We had Joe Joyce trying to mock Joseph Parker. We had Clarissa Shields going in on Savannah Marshall. We had Jake Paul talking about Canelo. We had Campbell Hutton. We had that terrible tattoo. We had Ebony Bridges fans. We had the cracker from Ryan Deal with the hairy bikers, Diamante and the Gad. We had Eddie, GQ, and that beautiful excerpt as well. And then we had Miss Kamara as nominated by Matty and all the other nominations from the boys as well. It's a pretty strong week, I must say, this week, Andy. Plenty to choose from. Who is going to get your vital vote?
It would be too easy actually to vote on Eddie, for example, because it is a kind of old video as such and that. So I'm going to go and say Don King.
Ooh.
Purely because no fucks given. 90-odd-year-old, and he's just doing Don King things. He's not paying his fighters, and it's now looking like Daniel Dubois is now going to go ahead and sue him. So I'm just reading here. So, according to the lawsuit obtained by Dan Raphael, Dubois is suing for somewhere between £380,000 to £770,000. Dubois was expecting to be paid 3% of his purse, £34,000, to WBA for sanctioning fees, while a further 30% was $300,000 was to be deducted on his behalf as incoming withholding tax. Then a sum of $984 was supposed to be paid as part of a WBA manager license fee to his, was it Martin Bauer's involvement as well? Don King no giving a fuck. Poor Frank Warren having to come out, make statements about pay the man, that type of stuff. So yeah, I'm going to go for Don King. Just fucking things up as per usual.
You see if they actually take him to court on that. It'd be like that scene in Casino where all the old bosses are in court and they like bring him in wheelchairs on oxygen and shit like that. Like, my client can clearly not go to prison. He cannot afford to pay this.
Good old Don. Good nomination.
I remember a story. Sorry, mate. I remember a story.
Right.
See when Don King tried to sign the Klitschko brothers. Vitaly, right? He went over to the piano and he started playing this Russian tune, whatever it was, or Ukrainian song on the piano. And Vitaly started walking around about the kind of like, the room that they were in. And it wasn't Don King playing the fucking piano. It was an automatic fucking key tune. And Don King's sitting there pretending that his fingers are going across the fucking the keys. And he's like, we ain't signing for this guy, no chance. So that's how they ended up going to Universum back in Germany.
We told some Don King stories on here before, didn't we? He's a dirty old bastard. Like even when he did a charity fundraiser for the hospital or something
But Ali,
in America, and he ended up making like 90 grand or whatever. Took his cut, and the hospital ended up with like £8,000 at the end of it.
yeah,
I mean, it's just
no morals, man, no
no,
morals with that
no,
cunt.
absolutely no. Worthy nomination for Don King himself. For what it's worth, Matty, before you jump in, I'll say that Eddie isn't beneath me today. Not necessarily even for the pose, so that's bad enough. But that excerpt, he's conquered America and he invented music in between rounds. That's just too much for me,
Someone
man.
needs to send that to fucking Leonard Ellaby, by the way, just to fucking rile him right up, because he'll respond to that shit. Like, don't you worry about that.
Oh
I
man,
I still don't think Yvonne McKell gets enough credit for when they used to have dancing girls in between rounds at the Canadian fights.
well, there you are, Yvonne
Yeah.
Michelle. Anyway, who are you going for, Matty?
I actually have to give it to the Father Dave book review. For some reason, that just stuck out with me, and I think it's fucking great.
That was a cracker, wasn't it? As if you put that on the back.
Yeah, the fact that he's gone through, we're printing that on the back as the fucking review. Former Australian welter, it's not even a boxer, former Australian welterweight kickboxing champion. Let's have his name again, Paul the Pitbull Grimmer. Said, I managed to read your book, mate, and to be quite frank, I like it. Not a bad read at all. I think you might be onto something, mate. That's the review of the book. And on the picture as well, I got to get the picture for next week. Father Dave is posed beside some character that looks like, for the older listeners, Cynthia Rodrock from the China O'Brien movies in the 80s, the female fucking martial artist star. And she's doing some kind of kung fu pose. I don't know what that has got to do with sex, the ring, and the Eucharist, but we're going to find out.
Well, I'm gonna have to wait until you pull up the image and put it here for all of us, Rob. But I can't see not becoming aroused from such an image.
Who are you going for then, Rob? Is it Father Dave review?
Yeah, the Paul the Pitbull Grimmer. I think you might be onto something, mate. That's the review, pal. That was your job. You sent back that, did you? And he printed it, the nutcase. Hell. Quality control at a high.
It's such a winner. I love it. I'm gonna have a hard time not going Father Dave every week if we have a new installment each and every week.
I can't wait for sex, the ring, and the Eucharist. It's going to be like the fucking Thornbirds up in here on a Sunday night.
I am going to try and get the ebook copy and pick out the best little bits for you and try and read them out. So congratulations to Paul the Pitbull Grimmer and Father Dave for Sex, the Ring, and the Eucharist. You are the Bellew of the Week winners for episode 486.